Hey CDA, and welcome back to Corsair Cove, where I'm having way too much fun building my own pirate town. Now, last episode, we've built 4 ships, well, we doubled our fleet at least to 4 ships, and we were left with a whole bunch of deeds completed, and that means we can start getting some upgrades. Now, what do I want? Maybe some improvement to the leaf cutter, the bounty hole to trade coin for raid goods that you cannot produce on your island. I'm entirely sure that I want that though. So let's just go a little bit into the production things. I think that might make sense. So that is 2 upgrades in that direction. We almost have a level 3 ship unlocked, by the way. That's gonna be awesome if and when we unlock that. Ooh. We also have half of this already, a level 4 ship unlocked. Okay, anyway, don't get distracted, TDA. We are gonna go and get ourselves some more upgrades. So, let's see. We have another classy banner. We have some more housing upgrades. I'm actually gonna unlock this mostly to see if this makes a difference. I don't think it does, to be fair. And maybe some additional campfire production. Not sure that that matters too much. But that means we have a level 3 ship unlocked already. Ah, that's interesting. So we can employ scallywags on that ship as well as a new type of thing that we can't really build yet. Well, we might have unlocked that now. Interesting. Well, I had I had just unlocked the ship. Okay, hold on. What class of ship is this? So this is a prowler. I think we just built a prowler over here, right? Was this a prowler? Yeah, this is a prowler as well. So can we upgrade this ship? Let's see. Yes, we can. And that is actually just gonna cost me some wood and something. And we can actually already crew this. And there's 40 crew that will fit on this ship. That is a lot. And then we need crow's eyes in order to upgrade this even further. But those need an upkeep of some sort of food and some sort of clothing that we currently don't have. Okay, so we need a outfitter for that. Anyway, let's upgrade the ship because we don't necessarily need to bring those people. We can also just bring the weaker version. However, if we're gonna do that, then I do want to build some. I like the song in the background, by the way. Okay. Ah, okay, so the classy cabin is actually cheaper to build, but it costs stone. You're just gonna listen to music, guys. Oh, they're singing in this cove. If I zoom out, it stops. That's interesting.
If I find a ship worthy of praise, you'll be the first to know. We'll have need of this new beauty very soon, if the rumor mill is to be believed.
Well, Teach apparently still doesn't approve of this ship, but I think he's wrong. Look at this beauty. Okay, so let's make sure we employ plenty of people on this. This is a ship with a lot of maneuverability, so let's see. I think that is why we had Honorata. She will also make it slightly less slow. So this is just a very maneuverable ship. Okay. Anyway, assign captain. And we are probably going to add some normal crew in here as well. This is why I was building the tavern over here. So let's see, we have the tavern here. Let's make sure we get some boosts from over there. And because once we do, we can start recruiting some normal people, some swabbies to this ship as well. How are we doing on drifters? We are actually doing really good on that. However, we are now a little bit low on housing. So yeah, there is actually a point in unlocking the other housing things as well, because this is far less costly when it comes to coin. So I'm gonna build a couple of those. Hold on, we have several of our pirate places kind of in disarray, and that's probably because all of the new pirates I got were spreading throughout these places. Actually, some of the locations seem to be fine, but let me deal with that in a second. All right, order has been restored to their realm. We have a almost fully crewed ship over here. And I think that it's time to start knocking out some of these quests, because now you can see we have a way faster ship than we need for this particular quest, so we can send on our route in that direction. Let's see, for this quest we needed a battleship, which we now have.
Yes.
So let's see, we have a much better ship actually than what we needed. Scarlet is going to go back and do what exactly? So she is very well equipped with what? I actually don't remember. She has a lot of boarding and a lot of maneuverability. So anything that is kind of like attacking ships and stuff like that. Let's see, what type of mission would suit her? Huh. Okay, we can have her take out Amara's Tavern Spy. That will progress the story a little
What's
bit.
this? Pirates on the wild island.
Finally!
And pirates with the stones to stand against the crown, no less. The name's Enrique Baguaido. A couple friends of mine have a noose waiting for them at Barbo's Bay. You want power, yes? Save them, and I'll get you an inn with some very dangerous people.
Power, he says. Fine. If he goes back on his word, we'll feed him and his friends to the sharks.
Is that a haven I see on that legendary rock? And filled with famous names to boot? Timothy Shaw. I need something smuggled. Myself, in fact. Out of sight of any searching eyes. It takes real pirates to stomach this kind of work. Legends in the making. Question is, are you?
Timothy Shore, the Phoenix. That man is a living legend. Whatever he's up to, we should be part of it.
Okay, well, I just triggered several of the questions in a row. Kind of forgot that once you send someone towards one of the main quests, there is some dialogue that starts playing. But yeah, that is something we should take into account. Now, something else we want to do, we have 73 drifters at the moment, is probably set up some of the production lines that we just unlocked for the advanced crew. So these guys need some sort of clothing and some sort of food. Now, let's see. Oh, there's different types of things here as well. Interesting. But this is the production that we're looking for, the soup kitchen. Now, that is going to require some crab and some water. The crab we can do over here. And we can just build this, and it's going to produce the crabs by itself. So that's kind of nice. But we need some sort of stone in order to deal with that. I actually don't know what that is. And apparently it's this one. And that requires some lime. Okay. And what is this? Some shells. Okay, so let's see. Where do we have those materials? We have shells over here, apparently. Okay. And then the lime. Okay, we have lime over here. So actually, if we build a lime thing over there, and then we built one of those shell fishing thingies over here, then it might make sense to start building a tabby cradle. That sounds like we're employing cats. Anyway, that should probably go on a wall. Now, what I've learned since the beginning of this game is that you definitely should not be building in the fertile zones if you can help yourself. Pretty much anything will stick to a wall, except for the buildings specifically that need to be in a fertile zone. So I'm actually making my life more difficult than it needs to be by not taking that into consideration. I wish I had a little bit more money so I could actually build an elevator, but we don't. Can we sell something? Oh, we can actually sell exactly enough to build an elevator over here. That's really lucky. Okay, so in that case, let's build that like this. Too long. Okay, well, let's do it like that then. And then let's finish the last little piece like that. Okay, that should allow everything to start building. So we have the tabby cradle, we have the lime kiln, and then we have the shellfisher, and then we should have the production materials in order to start producing some of that other stuff. Now, where did we get that? We needed some turtle catchers. Oh, that actually needs to be on a deposit as well. Do we have any turtles? There's turtles over there. There's turtles over there. Okay, yeah, well, we actually will need to build another pirate camp if we want to do that advanced type of stuff. So I think what we're going to do then is build myself a pirate camp over here. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent location. I'm gonna hook that up, and once we have that, we should be able to build some crabfishers. Okay, so I queued up another pirate camp and along with a turtle catcher. I thought it was crabs, but it's turtles actually. I also put in a well over here, and actually this is so beautiful. Look at that. So there's a waterfall over here, and we're actually making use of that water and collecting it like that. I mean, that is just awesome. And then we are going to make some soup out of all of that stuff. Now, if you look at the production rates, the water production over here is actually 12. This turtle catcher is going to produce 8 per minute, and this actually only requires a total of, let me show you, it's over here. This only requires 4 of each, so we can actually have 2 soup kitchens for a total production of 30 of that soup with just these 2 base resources. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I also have a galley here, which I'm not sure that we need, because the soup is probably going to need to be transported all the way over here. That is a little bit inconvenient compared to what I was initially planning. We can actually maybe bring it through here and then in there. But we're going to need a couple of warehouses with transporters to deal with all of that. But in order to do that, I need gold. So hopefully some of these events that we now have queued up are going to give us exactly that. Let's start with Teach and a news for Enrique.
You came! About time! Now weapons out and help me stop this bloody hanging.
Oh, it reduced the enemy health to 0. It has 112. Okay. Well, we're gonna deal a whole bunch of damage like this. But this is why we needed that very impressive ship before we could do this. Because, yeah. Okay, so now they're just gonna prevent some damage. That means I'm gonna do a point-blank assault. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
We have to get them to my ship.
But yeah, overpowered ships do help. Now we don't want to lose any crew if we can help it. So let's do this one. So I think the yellow ones are specific for your ship, and that means that these kind of like perfect responses that you have, you wouldn't have if you are bringing the wrong ship. So that is something that is good to know. Now this is going to deal a whole bunch of damage to me. And I can only prevent part of it, but we can very easily repair the ship. Okay, so we want to do some damage. We can remove a die next turn. I guess we're gonna do that. That makes him weaker. Let's prevent the damage. And we don't really care, but let's prevent the damage again. And we have yet another captain. So, oh, interesting. He has a -20 to speed and maneuverability, but he gets a bonus for lenses and tobacco. Like, he's actually gonna loot twice as much. Huh. That is very, very interesting. We also got some cohesion. We're very high up now already.
Get back to the tribe alliance. You hear of them, yeah? The rebellion against the crown. He's calling. Couldn't care less, frankly, but they pay well. Maybe you got bigger ambitions. Maybe you want in. If so, tell them Enrique Baguaido sent you.
Okay. We didn't quite gain some gold, I think.
Tribes finally got their act together. Good for them. Ready. And for us, if we can ally with them. Never took you for a friend of the natives, Teach. I'm a friend of their hatred. Move! Hatred is power. That makes them the strongest allies we can get.
I'm actually gonna send Teach to this friendly port so we can do some quests over here, but we do want to stock back up on supplies. We took some damage, but I don't think that's a problem. I actually don't know if we can also repair over here. That would be nice. But in the meanwhile, let's also check out how it's gonna go with Phoenix on the Run. That's gonna gain us 20 notoriety, and I would really like to gain that, because we do have a quest for that as well. Unfortunately, even though I can sell some rope, this is not quite gonna cut it. So let's see, can we start maybe selling some sails again? Because that, I think, did get us a little bit more money than what we are getting now. We are trying to build stuff over here, which is not gonna go that fast. That's because we are missing that tabby. Now let me double check on that before we go into the next event. We should be producing that here somewhere. I kind of forgot where, so hold on. The shellfisher is leading here. So this is the tabby cradle. Yeah, so we are producing some of that. It's not super fast, so, you know, it is what it is. It's 4 and 4, so how much are we producing here? We are producing 8 over here, and how much is the crab? Was this the crab? No, hold on. I keep messing this up. Oh, it was actually this thing. We are not producing anything at all. Wait, that's salt. Are you using salt? No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Hold on. You are using seashells and lime. And how much lime are we producing? 8 as well. So I can actually double up on the tabby cradle. So let's do that. I think that will make a lot of sense because we need so much of it. This is not a perfect location, but it will have to do. And then over here. Let's see. Do I have another warehouse? Oh, actually, I have a warehouse right here. So let's make sure you start stocking up on that. Just because that makes sure that all the production is actually being utilized. Why are you unhappy? Oh, you need more housing? Okay, well, we can get you some housing. That's not a problem. So let me spend some gold. Oh, yeah, I actually have exactly the 5 gold that I need. We could build some crappy housing as well, of course. We should probably at some point replace some of the cheaper housing that we built in the beginning of the game with the upgraded version so that we can stock a lot more people in the same place. But for now, this will do the trick. I'm going to speed things up a little bit so we can actually get that cohesion up and running. Actually, in order to increase the cap, I needed 10 gold, right? And I just spent that gold again. I think we'll be fine if we get a little bit over the cohesion cap.
You're a sight for
All right.
surprise. Now let's leave quiet and unseen. The Reaper is surely watching.
Okay, we need to sneak, and we don't want to lose too many of the things, so let's do it like this. And because we have an overpowered ship, this should be extremely easy.
Our lives may very well depend on it.
Okay, let's prevent that and let's gain some charge. And then what's next? We're gonna do the exact same thing, I guess. We don't really care about the supplies.
Don't look back. Don't trust your eyes. Full sails and pray to whatever gods you have that we make it.
Move away. Okay. This one, I guess?
Fog is lifting.
That was quick. Okay.
Blast it.
Timothy. Any opponent dice in common with yours is set to 0. When revenge choice is selected and passive above takes effect, event's dice pool is reduced by -1 for the rest of the event. So this is like a gambling, man. If you roll the same as the enemy's dice is set to 0. That could be very good or completely useless depending on what you roll. It does get better with additional dice in your pool. So the more dice you roll, the larger the likeliness of rolling the same as your enemy. So that's something to take into consideration as well.
I'll leave you at the next port and make for the Wildfire Isles. You saw the ghostly ship in the fog, didn't you? The Reaper has his eyes on you now, just like me and all the other brethren of the coast. You have 2 options now. Cower in fear or seize your destiny. Whatever it'll be, we'll be watching.
Well, we have so much
The
story
Brethren of the
going on now.
Coast. I wouldn't mind belonging to that illustrious club.
Look at the amount of quests we have.
Get
We
started.
are
We both
definitely
know what
going
that
to
ship
do a
in the
lot of
fog
questing.
was. I'm not keen on joining Killigrew's crew.
Legends don't fear the Reaper Rambullion. How else would they live forever?
Well, I hope you like events because we're gonna do a lot of them. Because Amara is gonna deal with the
Some
tavern
say
spy.
No honest whaler, but a royal snitch for Amara. Let's see if we can find this spy.
Okay, let's protect the crew and gain some hints. Let's just finish this. There we go. Let's get some gold along the way because we can use it.
He's our spy. Grab him, quick and quiet.
Something to note is that I really like, now I realize how important gold is, that we're doing everything we can to gain some gold, and that seems very piratey. Anyway, we want to prevent damage. And gain an additional die, I guess. Leave my crew alone. Can probably just take some damage and then gain some treasure along the way.
We've snatched
Money.
Amara's snitch, but he's slipped free. He's making for the harbor now. After him.
And we need to close some distance. I want all the treasure. That is a lot of gold we gained there. That's really nice, and I'm gonna send her back to town to collect on that gold. Now, in the meanwhile, we are apparently dealing with a crown patrol over here with the Huracan, so let's see if we can actually deal with that, because this ship is not particularly strong when it comes to combat. I do think, however, we should be fine. We can deal some damage, and that's half of their ship done already. So, do I have anything that gains me treasure? Doesn't look like it, but we can just ram and destroy their ship. There we go, and that is more gold for us. And that ship was just on the way to Buccaneer's End, so let's enter here and let's see. The shadow of the bloody Bastille looms over this entire region. A place like this is bound to spawn dark legends about the ultimate fate of the prisoners in Buccaneer's End. Not everything is as it seems. So we can start the ambition, the missing prisoners, and that's going to give us a whole bunch of Empire Principle points and a lot of cohesion. And that's going to start a quest chain,
Fella named Dufresne.
because we didn't have enough of
There's
those.
two problems. He's a notorious drunkard, and he's in Port Victoria.
I'm also going to chase down this merchant ship, because that's going to give me a whole bunch of gold. And I think we can use some more of that. Now, luckily, we also have Scarlet coming back, so that should give us a plenty amount of gold. And that is going to allow me to do a couple of things. So first of all, I want to build a warehouse over here, so we can utilize that for the various things we're now producing there. But more importantly, well, maybe not necessarily more importantly, but still important, I want to build me some banners, because I want to raise my cap. I think we should be safe building a whole bunch of banners over here. Feels a little weird. But that means we should be able to also get past the cap of 175, which we need for one of the deeds. So this is 40 to add it to the cap. And that means that we can go and repair Scarlet's ship as well. Oh wow, this event is kind of cool. We're now trying to get away from a giant dread whale, and look at the art here, guys. This is just amazing. I'm gonna run like crazy though, so yeah, that is what it is. We gained some cargo as well as some coin along the way though.
I mean, yes.
Okay, well, that went pretty well, I think. And let's see, a friendly fisherman point we can safely resupply here. Who are we talking about? Ah, okay, we actually sent her here. I'm not sure why
Yeah.
we did that.
I mean, yes.
What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna focus on one story chain at a time for the moment, because otherwise things are gonna be extremely confusing for you as a watcher. Anyway, it's a good moment now to recall everyone back to the island anyway, and apparently I have completed another deed. I actually don't know which one this is. Oh, 175 cohesion. And that is nice, and that's going to allow us to pick up yet another skill, and it also means, oh, look at that. Did we actually already build this one? I don't think we did we? I'm confused now. This is a level 3 ship. No, it's a level 2 ship. Level 3 ship. Never mind, this was the level 2 ship. We started with a level 1 ship. Okay, never mind. Okay, let's see. We can improve the cistern production. We can improve the soup kitchen production. That might actually be really useful since we are about to do exactly that. The rising sun. Courtesans can get coin and send them to charm drifters into joining your ranks. Okay, so we can actually actively recruit new drifters like this. Increase the all hands on deck production boost within pirate camp range from plus 50 to plus 80 by building an entertainer's guild hall. Could be interesting. We're definitely getting to the more powerful stuff. So this is more salt production, and this is a improved zipline. Okay, and we can improve that several times actually. Let's go with soup kitchen for now though, because we are actively using that. Or at least we will be as soon as the production is completed. How is that going along actually? Look at that, we are nearly up and running. We actually have a soup kitchen up and running as well. Now you can pick up your stuff over here actually. That's a lot easier than picking it all the way up from the other side of the world. Actually, we might want to disconnect you, because we do want this to be somewhat efficient. So this is why we have this warehouse here to begin with. And now the other one is ready. It is trying to do it in both directions as well, but that's not really what I want you to do. Everything should be coming from the warehouse. Oh, hold on. I misclicked there. Yeah, I should be clicking there. There we go. And the guys from the warehouse are going to be picking it up over here. Now, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing. Oh, you're picking up the planks from all the way over here. This is just to make sure I have some building materials all across the island. It's a little bit unfortunate that the crabs are so far away though, but I think we should be fine if we do it like this, especially now we have the improved production for the soup kitchen as well. This is the first step towards getting the improved personnel for this ship. Now, let's see. We also need a sort of clothing item to make use of that as well. Why are you unhappy? Because you need some supply. And that is because we haven't actually told the soup kitchen that there is food available. There we go. We should probably not use that other connection at all. So we can just use the Buccaneer's grill over here that is making use of the piggies. And look at that. Guys, I've become more smart. We have that fertile area over here. I built the grill on the wall rather than in the fertile area, so we can maximize the output from this fertility as much as possible. So let's see what we actually need to build this. We are going to need some leather, and that leather is apparently made from piggies as well as salt. Makes sense. I might be able to, I don't know, we are producing some pigs over here. We are probably producing more than we need. We have plenty of salt production all around. So I don't know, like maybe we can build that one over here, and then we are gonna have to rely on the salt from elsewhere. And we are actually also producing the clothing already somewhere over here on this tower. Where can I build this? Can I? Okay, I'll just build it on top, I guess. Let's see. We are producing sails here, but we're also producing clothing. Now we're producing 8. The sails need how much? Also 8, but we can stop this production because this is just, we will have plenty of sails to lean on. This needs 4 and 6, I guess. 4 and 6. How much are we producing? 6. Okay. So we are not kind of overproducing anything over here. So let me just, I don't know, pause the sail maker, and then we can deal with this one. And then you are going to make some slops. This is slop? Okay. I guess it is slop. It also means that we are going to have to collect all of that stuff in a warehouse. And that warehouse is probably going to want to be fairly close to this place. Because remember, that is where we are producing, well, where we are going to be employing those people. So let me connect that up. We will need to go through here, I think, because we are producing the stew over there. So we're going to need to go and build an entire pathway like this. Okay, a couple of additional warehouses added to the mix. What is this? There's eggs over here. Anyway, not getting distracted here because we should now be able to recruit some additional crew. Let's see. We still can't do this. We are missing a required building, an outfitter. Okay, so... Oh, the outfitter is apparently, I guess, the place where people go and get dressed. Yeah, okay. That is a new building, that is for sure, but that's not a problem, because is this actually in range of... Hold on. Because it does need to be in the range of where we are trying to recruit these people. So let's do this like this. I am storing both the turtle soup as well as the slops over here, so the slops should then be able to go into the outfitter, and then we should be able to recruit those people. It's kind of a beautiful building, actually. So, the outfitter is done, and that means, famous last words, yeah, these are now lit up. So if we manage the crew, we should be able to do that. Now, let's see, we can probably reduce this a little bit and then increase this. Yeah, okay, that works just fine. So actually, if we reduce this to the minimum and this to the maximum, we should be producing at least 20 of each. Actually, no, we are not producing that much slop. So I guess we're gonna do it something like this. It's a little bit of a mix, but these guys are really strong. So you can see we are actually increasing the power of the ship quite substantially by just replacing a couple of these with these crow's eyes. Okay, so that brings us back to this. Now, as you can see, I have been slacking a little bit, having my people sit at the dock, and that means the fog of war is yet again over here. Now, let's see. Something I did find out in the meanwhile is that if you click on a ship, you can see highlighted which places are best for them to go. So that is extremely convenient because that makes everything a lot easier to do. So, for example, over here, we can go to this port and we can go to this Buccaneers camp as well. And this place is going to give us what? Some gold. And this place is going to give us some drifters. So let's go for that one. Now, if we check out that top region, is there anything else that we can do? Yes, we could send our Reaver over here, but we cannot do that yet because we haven't done the previous quest for that. I think that is this one. So we need to complete the Buccaneer camp first. However, that does mean we can maybe do this one. Let's see. What do we need in order to do this? Recommended ship. That is not quite... Well, actually, she should be able to do this quest as well. So let's go and send her here. Now, let me check out my other people. Is there any other quest up here that they can do? Not really.
Where did they go? Time to find out.
Let's see if we can find that ship. I'm actually wondering if we do find the Prosperity. I guess we already found it, but the ship was empty, right? So let's see what happens once we complete this. We should get those 3 points for upgrades. And if that's the case, that's going to be awesome. Okay, so let's find out if this is the case and if we can actually do a level 3 encounter. Let's find the Prosperity's crew. Okay, deal 1 damage for each 100 meter. Still not sure how that exactly works. But let's see, we could do this, gain some meters and protect our resource at the same time. But I still think we took a lot of damage there. Let's protect the crew. And let's gain some dice. I guess we're gonna do that again. Let's gain an additional die for the rest of the objective. Okay, now we are gonna make some pathway. Now we do need to do 2 more phases, so that's something to take into consideration. Ooh, just not enough. So we're gonna take some damage. In the meanwhile, we can provide
Trail
some
leads
defense
us
as
to
well.
a
Okay.
ruined temple, but the inner gates are closed. There must be a way to open them.
I'm sure there is. We can just do a whole bunch of damage while accepting that we will take some as well. I think that's actually worth it. And then, how much damage do we still need to do? 26? I think we'll just do that again.
One of us steps on a moving floor tile. The walls of the temple shift and move.
We need to move
triggered a
away
trap.
from the threat. Okay. I think that's probably a good place to do the support actions. Oh, we already are here. I think... let's just take some damage and gain 14 resources. I think that should be enough. Let's do some defensive actions if we can. Here we go. Leave my crew alone. Let's gain a whole bunch of meters as well as some treasure and complete this event. Okay, there we go.
Find a large
We didn't lose
card.
any crew, which is always the most important thing.
Shows a golden figure holding what looks like a skull-shaped gem.
Okay, skull-shaped gem.
Blade itches.
Alright, so that is not quite the event done yet. And it's recommending a level 3 Reaver, which we don't have yet, so that's interesting. Meanwhile, you go back to town and
Find
go
new
repair.
tracks outside the temple. It seems the crew returned to their ship, but someone followed them.
Actually wondering, what do I need to do in order to unlock the level 3 Reaver? Because we have that nearly completed. We only need one more point towards wealth, so let's see. One aerial lift will actually do the trick. As well as some plundering and some other things, but the lift is a very clear thing that we can easily do. 3 efficient transport routes to Outfitter. We only have one of them at the moment. 50 crow's eyes. Okay, that's a lot. 10 events with Raven, which I don't think we currently have on the ship. But yeah. 15 efficient routes to a galley as well. Interesting. All of that is really interesting. But I forgot. It was the aerial lift, right? Yes. So let's see. Can I just build one of those? Hold on. Let me pause the game there for a second. Aerial lift. We need another 100 gold in order to do that. Well, let's sell some stuff while we're at it. And I think once Scarlet comes back, we should have enough money to do exactly that. Meanwhile, Teach dealt with the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers are not actually part of the Tribe Alliance, but are on good terms with them and will vouch for us.
Okay, so we just completed that side quest. So we got 2 Empire Principal points, 15 Cohesion, and 30 Drifters. That is a whole bunch of stuff. And apparently we now also get recruits from the Ancient Archipelago. Okay, so we did some good deeds, and we can now say what we want to get as a result of that. 75 Drifters is a lot of that. That will cost us 25 cohesion, which seems a little bit like a shame, since I'm trying to stack up on that. I don't really need the hardwood, rope, and leather, though, so I don't know. Let's just take some 25 Drifters then. And let's send you back home to repair and restock. Actually, no. We can send you over here to the friendly port to do exactly that. And interestingly enough, we can not only get supplies there, which we will, and we will spend some of our stuff on that, on some of our ammunition, like powder. We can also repair our ship here, and all we need to do is just spend some plank or some rope on that, and it seems to scale with whatever we need the most. So that's kind of nice. Now, because we just cleared out that Buccaneers camp, we can also go to the Great Pyramid. So now we need a level 2 Reaver for that, ideally. So let's check that out. It just says recommended ship level 2 Reaver. Okay. Well, we have a level 2 Reaver. It is about to go back to town, though. So in the meanwhile, we can send you over to the Crown Port and go and raid that. In the meanwhile, now we completed that quest, we have 2 Empire points unlocked, so hopefully we can get that level 3 ship now. Let's see, we could pick something else up. We actually don't need any of this. Oh, for every gibbet, gain 5 cohesion by locking a drifter in a cage. Might be useful if we want to kind of skill this up really quickly. Not sure. Let's build the bloody cabin, and let's upgrade the powder monkey as well. We just need 1 more point to unlock our level 3 yoke breaker. Let's see. Anything in particular that we can do? We can pillage some crown ports, which is exactly what we're about to do. We need 10 elevators, some events with Teach, some with Enrique, and have a total output of 15 medicine. Interesting. Okay. Well, a lot of these things we will be doing anyway, but for the moment, let's just pillage some crown ports. Turns out plundering a village is a very lucrative thing to do. Which means I now have enough money for an aerial lift. So I'm thinking maybe I can take out this zip line over here and build an aerial lift there. That should increase the production speed quite a bit, I think. There we go. And that also means we have that deed completed that we needed for the 3rd lift. And that means we have another point in what direction? In this direction. So that should unlock the level 3 Reaver. Now, what are we going to pick up? Maybe another banner? Maybe. Bounty Hunter's Guild Hall sounds interesting as well. The greenwashing? Maybe. For the moment, let's just start picking up in the new buildings. And that means we could make use of the Wolf's Hound, the level 3 Reaver ship. So Scarlet, let's see, can we give you a better ship? Let's see, we only need some planks and rope to upgrade you. And this also actually allows us to use Crow's Eyes 3D, so that's interesting. We have, in theory, the production we need in order to do that. However, that does mean we should scale up our leather production, our our clothing production, all of that, if we want to actually completely staff 2 of those ships at the same time. Well, this is the level 3 Wolf's Hound, and let's set Scarlet assigned to that ship. Look at the amount of HP this ship has. That's actually kind of awesome. So, Scarlet, you are going to need some crew. Luckily, we already had some of that prepared. We have quite a bit of production for this, so can actually... In theory, we have 22 production, so we could have 22 of these. Now, I don't think we really want to add another Crow's Eye to this, mostly because we simply don't have the production for that. So I'm just going to fill this up with these swabbies. Now, that probably means we're going to have a production problem in terms of moonshine over here. Or maybe not, I actually don't know. We'll find out, but we can easily just build another moonshine still if we need to. Now, look at this beautiful ship with a very high boarding damage stat and a pretty decent armor as well. Now, we haven't fully staffed this just yet, which is a bit of a shame. But if we now go over here with Scarlet, yeah, we should be, I think, able to do this fairly easily. Actually, although, like you can see, we're still lacking some of the stats, interestingly enough, to easily do this quest. So we could just start with something easier, and let's go to the Great Pyramid first. Let's see what awaits at the end of this particular quest chain.
Dedicated to the gods of the sea. Who knows what treasures it may contain?
Well, let's find out. Bring the ship as close as possible. Send dinghies to the shore. This feels like the safer thing to do, but this feels like the high risk, high reward one. Let's go with that one.
We found a nice bay to drop anchor in. The
I
pyramid should be
guess
close.
I picked the right one.
The jungle is thick.
Look for a trail or hack a path through the trees. This is gonna cost us quite a bit of stuff. Look for a trail.
We find the Great Pyramid.
Okay.
The stepped structure stands ominously amidst the trees, unnerving the crew.
So the interesting thing is this is an entirely different type of event. So climb the steps or find a way inside. Let's climb the steps first.
Enemies were lying in wait,
Whoops.
ready to strike. They don't seem to be rival treasure hunters. Could they be the ruins' guardians?
Let's try to negotiate.
In the last chamber, we find what we were looking for. The Great Pyramid's treasure is ours.
Okay, I guess we negotiated successfully. It feels like it skipped something there, but that's a lot of gold. Okay. As we fill our bags with booty, our attention is caught by a fresco depicting another of the ancient's great cities. Above the pyramids floats a golden skull. Intriguing. Well, you make sure you bring your money back. Actually, you don't have to do that at all.
You sure fearless.
So you can go to the friendly port. Hello? Oh, someone else is already at the friendly port, so you go back.
Turn the ship
There we
around.
go, and then you can go to the friendly port. There we go.
I say
So you can restock a little bit.
Always welcome and will fuel our ambitions.
We have over 1,000 gold. I think that's the first time since we started playing that we are anywhere near that. Now let's see. We are just a little bit low on stats to do this one, and we are also a little bit low on stats to do this one. So actually what I'm going to do is I am going to send you back home and do a little bit of a trick. Okay, so what I've done is I built another outfitter over here and I rerouted some of the production over there. So what I can now do is go to this ship, manage the crew over here, just remove temporarily the crow's eyes I had over here. Maybe just add in something else. Ooh, okay. I guess we will lose some cohesion because we're switching up crews, so we can't do this forever. That's something to take note of. But more importantly, what I can now do is start adding people to this crew. And I can also make sure we fill this up. Maybe upgrade these to those. And as you can see, this will give us much better stats than we had before. So with that in production, let's see. We now check back. We still don't quite have the stats that we need, but we should be able to deal with most of these events anyway. So let's send her back up in here and hopefully complete this quest line. Well, we've arrived, so let's check out how it is to be ambushed by the crown. Okay, so we need to survive. Okay, well, that's interesting. I guess we're gonna gain some dice. It should put us at even feet again. Oh, that's a whole bunch of damage. Okay, well, let's prevent most of that. There we go. And let's also prevent damage to our... we can't actually. So about say prevent the damage to our supplies. But while we're doing that, I guess we are just gonna gain some loot. Might as well.
Now we chase them off.
We have 4 steps, so we need to reduce the enemy health beneath 50. Well, we can do that at once, so let's do that. Boom.
We sent them packing, but there might be more. Let's not linger much longer.
Okay, we are getting pretty low on supply, but what we can do is we can switch to this now. And just take some damage to the hull and gain some supply while we're at it. Now, let's go in the defense, I guess. We're taking quite a bit of damage, but it seems to be okay. I don't know. Let's gain some loot.
One last time.
Scavenge as much treasure as possible.
Last time we were on board?
Well, I guess we are going to do exactly that. That's a lot of treasure. And that is even more treasure, so we're completely maxed out on treasure now. Well, getting ambushed wasn't that bad.
It ends with the ominous words.
We'll seize destiny. Chart a course for home.
Actually, no. You can go over there and hunker
The
up.
logbook reveals what the prosperity was really looking for. The legendary Golden City.
But where is the Golden City? We don't quite know. Are we still... Oh, we are still working on this, so... Complete the consolation prize. Where is that?
I mean, yes.
Oh, okay, hold on. I guess we
have
can
no
go there first.
certainty regarding the final fate of the Prosperity's crew, but
Good.
signs point to a grim end.
Oh, hold
Time
on.
to return to the captain's wife.
We are sending the wrong one over there.
Yeah?
You can go back
Oh,
home, because
alright.
I wanted to send Scarlet there. So you go and go to the consolation prize. There we go. We tell the captain's wife about the captain's lost entry and show her the golden statuette we discovered. She stares at it in silence for a long time before asking, "I'd like to keep it as a lost memory of my husband." So we can gain 100 coin, but we have 1300 now. Or we can just leave it with her. Let's just leave it with her and be the good guys. We are good pirates, right? Maybe it can bring her but little comfort. It can. She does not weep until we close the door. Thus ends the tale of prosperity. For now. Okay, so we get 3 wealth principle points. We get 15 cohesion out of that. And we can send you to go back in here. Now that means we can pick up a whole bunch of new upgrades, but we're going to do that in the next episode because I think this has been a pretty long one already. I hope you're enjoying this one. I also hope the focus on a specific island makes a little bit more sense if you're kind of watching along or playing along. But either way, I think you're awesome if you're still here, and I definitely hope to catch you in the next one.